And Israel's soon-to-be national security minister, the right-wing Itamar Ben-Gvir, suggested that left-wing protesters who were beaten by soldiers on Friday in Hebron may have had it coming. The minister demanded that police investigate whether or not soldiers were provoked by agitators. Ben-Gvir said that common tactics by what he described as extremist activist groups included abusing soldiers, cursing, and even attacking them, and demanded to know if the soldiers were hurt first. On Friday, 2 soldiers were suspended after leftist NGO Breaking the Silence posted a short video clip that showed a soldier tackling an activist and punching him in the face. The lead up to the incident is still unknown. On Saturday, IDF Chief of Staff Aviv Kohavi released a statement lambasting the soldiers' conduct during the incident and in other recent cases involving the misuse of force by soldiers against both Israelis and Palestinians. Now, for more on this, we are joined in studio by Rafael Yerushalmi, former senior intelligence officer with the IDF and now security analyst. Is it responsible for the IDF's chief of staff to make a statement before an investigation is completed?
Absolutely, because in that particular case, there is no two ways about it. A soldier of the IDF represents the army. He's wearing a uniform. When he's wearing a uniform, he's a representative of the army and a representative of the state of Israel. His conduct should be appropriate, meaning that whatever the provocation was on the other side, that provocation, as you clearly see on the video footage, was done by a person who was not armed, who probably doesn't have the same training as the soldier has. So the soldier should show some cool, the soldier should show dignity, and certainly not use disproportionate violence. There was no threat to the soldier's life, there was no threat to the soldier's health. So in any case, it's against all accepted standards of behavior in the IDF.
One of the big questions has to be asked is, does this possibly reflect the changing culture in the IDF? The soldiers seen on video punching the activist, they are claims that before he said Ben-Gvir is in charge now, the fun is over, and that the Israeli soldiers can sort of have their own way now. Is that changing? What does Ben-Gvir's position mean for the future of this sort of incident?
So would that be the case? This phenomenon has to be nipped in the bud immediately. We cannot allow politics to interfere with the professional work of our soldiers and our police. The fact that the politicians try to provoke or initiate actions, and this has always been the case. This doesn't mean you have to give in. The army must stand strong. We must remember that Mr. Ben-Gvir has got a lot of very pompous titles right now, but not that much power. He will not really influence the way the police or the IDF are conducting their routine activities. He might have some impact on some kind of some marginal fringe of the population, but that should not be a game changer, shouldn't change the overall behavior. You have to remember that thousands and thousands of young Israeli soldiers, male and female, are daily exposed to insults and stone throwing and spitting at their face by Palestinians, by extreme right settlers. They usually just keep their cool, they keep their dignity, they represent a very ethical army, and as I said, they are trained, they are armed. I mean, that soldier was fully equipped and he has a weapon. There is no reason why he should beat up a civilian.
And one of the things that this really reflects is that it is an optics war when it comes down to Israel's behavior on the ground and how it's presented in the international community. How much damage do videos like this do to the IDF? And does the IDF really have any tools at its disposal to avoid things like this from going public? Because certainly they've seen in the past they've tried to suppress this, it's only failed.
Yeah, well, technically it's difficult. We have military censorship, but the military censorship is really not to disclose secrets. We do not really have like a Chinese-style military censorship to avoid showing video clips that are just... So, of course, it does create damage to the image of Israel, all the more so that people are waiting for it. The enemies of Israel are waiting for this kind of video clips to come out and use them fully in the media and show how naughty and horrible our soldiers are, but we're used to that. Unfortunately, the IDF as such and the Ministry of Defense do not really have the tools We only have the IDF spokesman to reestablish the truth, but when the IDF spokesman speaks out, the journalist said, oh, but that's the official version, not worth anything. So it's more on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to do the job. But in that media war, you know very well, as a journalist, that we've lost it a long time ago.
It's not a very good state of affairs. Thank you very much, Raphael.